This is a tutorial of how to build a one-stop shop slide deck for the Recovery Geometry course. And I've got step-by-step instructions here. First, find the Geometry Summer School Guide, which is linked here. And it is this document here, and it tells you lesson by lesson how to build from the typical standard geometry course into the summer school course. So you can see like lesson 2 in the summer school course has some parts of geometry, unit 1, lesson 3, activity 1, unit 1, lesson 3, activity 2, activity 3, but it's also composed of unit 1, lesson 10, activities 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we look through this, we can see what the student-facing learning goal is, and we can see what the lesson synthesis is going to focus on, and also what practice problems. So you'll notice also here that it says black line master needed for the synthesis. You want to look for, as you're going through this document, look for the BLM, because we're going to include that into the one-stop shop geometry slideshow, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to create a slide deck that is called Recovery Geometry Unit 1 lesson, and in this case I'm going to do lesson 2. And I started with the lesson 3, and then I'm going to go to the lesson 10, and I'm going to copy the slides from these activities and then paste them in. So this is lesson 10, and I can see that I've got activity 1 all the way through activity 4. I'm also going to include in my copying, I'm going to include the vocabulary. So 1 through 4, including the vocabulary. And if there's anything extra, we'll go back and take care of it. And I can copy and paste that in here. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is, in order to make this a one-stop shop, I'm going to make sure that I've got the correct learning goal. And if I look at the document, let's draw some transformations as the learning goal. And you will see that learning goal this is from lesson 10, and I already put it in there, but the lesson goal from lesson 3 was the wrong one, so I had to delete that. So I've got the correct learning goal in there, and then the next step is going to be in the notes section of each activity slide, include link to teacher lesson page, and let me show you what I mean by that. So here is activity 1 from lesson 3. I can see that down here, by the way. And I'm going to put activity guidance, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, this is unit 1, lesson 3, from the teacher side of the illustrative mathematics, and I'm going to grab that link. And I'm going to put that in here. Now, because this lesson 3 has information about activities 1, 2, and 3, I can put the same link in activity 2 and activity 3. I'll do it again. There's a second slide for activity 3. But now I'm going to have to go, since this is activity 1 from lesson 10, I'm going to have to grab the link from lesson 10. Now, I'm going to put that in activity 2 as well. It's a second slide for activity 2, a third slide for activity 2. Here's activity 3. Now, activity 4, this is important, is the cool down. So I'm not going to put a link to the lesson. I'm going to show you what to do with that later. The next session, the next part of the instructions is to make sure that that you get a link to any relevant Blackline masters. So, as we showed before in this document, it says that there's Blackline masters for the lesson synthesis. So you can find the Blackline masters. This is lesson 10. It's going to be on the preparation tab here. And if we go down to the resources, the Blackline master, and I'm going to copy this link. And I'm going to go to the lesson synthesis, which is where Blackline master is going to be used, and I'm going to link it there. So include relevant synthesis slides. Now this guidance says that for synthesis we're only using the synthesis from lesson 10. So if I go to the slideshow, I've got the synthesis from lesson 10. Now what I'll do later is I will delete the synthesis from lesson 3 when I start paring down the unnecessary slides. And then it says make sure that I get the cool down link. So I'm going to go back to the guidance here. Says the cool down is from lesson 10. So I'm in lesson 10 here, and I'm going to go and I'm going to get the cool down. And you can get the doc or the PDF. The doc will be editable, and I will find, this is the cool down, and I'm going to link that in here. And keep glossary slides. So I'm going to take a look at my my glossary slides. And let's see, make sure that I haven't doubled anything up. This is the lesson synthesis from lesson 3. I know I don't need that. Again, here's something from lesson 3. I don't need that. Parallel, perpendicular, bisector. Okay, so here's the lesson targets from lesson 3. Don't need those. Okay. So I can go through and I can make sure that I've deleted anything that is not included in here. And then the last thing I want to do is I'm going to link the practice problems in at the end, again, to make this a one-stop shop. So I can go after the cool down, and I'm going to create a new slide. I'm going to call this the practice problems. I'm going to put that in there, and then if we go to the practice problems, you can, if you grab the doc, the Word doc, then you can make it editable, because you can see not all the practice problems are going to be used. Now I'll put it in for lesson 10. And I will also go get them from lesson 3. And again, they're in the preparation section. And if you do end up creating a synthesized practice set, then you might want to link them in these notes as well. Okay, that covers the process for making the slide deck to go with each lesson.